As we have.
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Kate Snow.
Good morning. We're coming on the air with breaking news and another positive development involving the release of hostages by Hamas. We now know one American is finally among those just set free. According to Israeli officials, 4-year-old Abigail Idan is part of a group of 17 people released today. This is day 3 of a 4-day ceasefire, and this third group being released is all part of a broader and tenuous deal between Israel and Hamas. That bargain also included the promise of humanitarian aid flowing into Gaza, and Israel committed to releasing Palestinian prisoners. A spokesman for the Qatari Foreign Ministry says today it expects Israel to release another 39 Palestinian prisoners today. The 17 hostages released by Hamas today are from a group of more than 200 people kidnapped during Hamas's deadly attack on Israel on October 7th. Let's bring in NBC's Erin McLaughlin. She's on the ground in Tel Aviv. Erin, this is a big moment for the U.S., including an American hostage, a little girl coming home.
It certainly is, Kate, and we have just received a statement from the Israeli Prime Minister's office. I'll read you what the Prime Minister has to say. He says the Israeli government embraces the 17 abductees who returned to Israel, 14 of our citizens and 3 foreign citizens who returned to Israel today. Their families were informed by the appointed officials that they are on their way to Israel. The Israeli government is committed to the return of all abductees and missing persons. Now, among the list of hostages released today, as you mentioned, is 4-year-old Abigail Idan. In fact, she turned 4 on Friday. She's been held for some 51 days by Hamas terrorists inside of Gaza. Her story is a heart-wrenching one. According to her great aunt, on October 7th, Hamas terrorists stormed her kibbutz, shooting her father in the back. She was in his arms when he was shot and killed. His body collapsed on top of her. She was covered in his blood. She shielded under him, according to her family, and then ran to a neighbor's house. And it was at that neighbor's house that she was kidnapped and taken into Gaza. Now, she is one of some 10 Americans thought to have been kidnapped and taken into Gaza. 2 other American women, are thought to be eligible for release under the current terms of the ceasefire. But certainly today, the fact that she is free, the fact that she is back in Israel is a symbol of hope to the other hostages that remain in Hamas custody. Kate.
Erin, has the family said anything about where little Abigail will go?
Not at present, and it is unclear if they have, in fact, connected with Abigail at this point. In terms of the process, when the hostages are brought from Gaza through the Rafah crossing, they are greeted by Israeli troops. Some of those Israeli troops specially trained to be able to communicate with children. They are identified by the Israeli military. They undergo a medical evaluation, and then from there, they are brought to an Israeli Air Force base. They're boarded onto helicopters and then sent to hospitals. And there at the hospital, one of 5 in Israel, Abigail will likely be reconnected with her family, waiting for her in Israel. And we hope to see those reunions. We've been seeing these just heart-wrenching, heartwarming reunions over the past couple of days. This is the 3rd hostage release of this 4-day, at least 4-day minimum temporary ceasefire. Kate.
Erin, thank you. For more, let's bring in NBC News White House correspondent Ali Rafa. Ali, this morning we thought this might happen. The National Security Advisor had indicated we thought we might see the release of one American. As Erin said, there are more. What is the administration doing behind the scenes to try to get every American out?
That's right, Kate. Well, this is no doubt a sigh of relief for the families of this hostage, 4-year-old Abigail Idan, but also for this administration and the president himself, who has for days now said he was extremely optimistic that Americans would be among the hostages released as part of this multi-day ceasefire. And the White House has been closely monitoring when that would happen. The president asked in Nantucket last night when we could see those hostages released. He said hopefully that will be soon. And today, as Aaron mentioned, on the third release, we are seeing one American citizen released as part of this deal. But as you mentioned, many more Americans being held hostage. And Sullivan this morning on the Sunday show said at this point they still do not know the condition and whereabouts of all of those hostages, Kate.
Yeah, and as we know, we have one more day of ceasefire that we know of right now. It could be extended. Ali, thank you. And Aaron, thank you. That concludes this NBC News special report. We will, of course, have much more online at NBCnews.com. I'll have more tonight on NBC Nightly News. I'm Kate Snow. Thank you for watching.